I recall with such fond memories our visit to France in 2023, when you so graciously hosted us, Monsieur le Président. Much has happened in the meantime, and France and the United Kingdom have stood ever closer since then.
Prince William, future King of England, has always been a symbol of quiet dignity and royal responsibility. But something has shifted during the recent state banquet held in honor of French President Macron and the First Lady. What should have been a glittering night of diplomacy and pageantry has now become the eye of the storm, all because of a single moment where William broke with protocol and stunned everyone present. Windsor Castle was resplendent to welcome the guests. The tables gleamed with silver, crystal, and royal insignias. Queen Camilla shimmered in sapphires, while Princess Catherine of Wales dazzled in red, wearing the lover's knot tiara. Diplomats, royals, heads of state, all stood in anticipation as King Charles delivered a heartfelt speech highlighting over 1,000 years of Anglo-French history.
Such fond memories, our visit to France in 2023, when you so graciously hosted us, Monsieur le Président. Much has happened in the meantime, and France and the United Kingdom have stood ever closer since then. At this crucial point in our shared histories, your visit is another occasion to celebrate our deep and enduring friendship.
Even referencing his own lineage, tracing back to William, Duke of Normandy.
Was begun by my ancestor and your sometime countryman, William, Duke of Normandy, in the year 1070. It remains the oldest and largest occupied castle in the world.
And that's where things began to take a darker, more confusing turn. At the end of the king's speech, the room erupted into a standing ovation. Every guest rose from their seats as camera flashes went off and applause echoed through the halls of Windsor.
But now, amical.
Remained still with his hands folded, his jaw locked. Forget clapping, he simply sat with an eerily blank expression. That sent shockwaves through those watching. The footage quickly hit social media, especially Royal Watchers forums. A user on Reddit captured the confusion perfectly. Everyone is standing clapping after Charles is done speaking, except William. What's going on here? Theories exploded across the internet. If this had been one of the Sussexes, it would have been all over the tabloids, one furious commenter speculated, while another highlighted the significance of the event. It's not just that he didn't stand, it's that he looked emotionally wrecked, like he was on the verge of either screaming or crying. What happened behind the scenes? King Charles, just minutes before concluding his speech, had drawn a historic parallel between Prince William and William the Conqueror, the 11th century ruler also known as William the Bastard. A bold and symbolic nod was meant to anchor Prince William's legacy and royal greatness. But was it received that way?
That my son, the Prince of Wales, who shares that earlier William's name, has made Windsor his home with his family, like so many of our predecessors. The Norman English society that was established by William the Conqueror was neither, at least initially, an entente, nor especially cordial. But it marked, on one view, the beginning of 1,000 years of shared history and culture between our two peoples.
Another user posed the question that's now haunted the royal fandom. What if William didn't like being compared to a brutal conqueror who seized power and left chaos in his wake? What if that was a subtle jab, not a compliment? Not to mention the connotation attached with William the Bastard are not so great. Things only got stranger as the evening progressed, when President Macron later delivered his own speech, again prompting a standing ovation.
Long live the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Long live France. Long live Franco-British friendship.
William suddenly stood and clapped like everyone else. No hesitation, no inner turmoil, just textbook royal decorum. The contrast was blinding. He didn't stand for his father, but he stood for the French president. What made this moment even more loaded was the context around it, which royal fans were quick to unpack. Months before the state visit, William had quietly replaced his legal counsel. The law firm representing him now is the same one Princess Diana used during her divorce from King Charles. Was it a coincidence or a way to separate himself from his father? William hiring Diana's lawyers and ditching the firm that represented his father was the red flag we all ignored. Now we're seeing the fallout in public. And fallout it is because this wasn't the only oddity. Behind the royal smiles and choreographed toasts, tensions may have been simmering far longer than anyone realized. Some insiders whisper that once William became Prince of Wales, Charles began pulling back. He didn't coddle the heir anymore. No more soft buffers provided. With wealth, duty, and legacy now on William's shoulders, the father-son dynamic shifted. What we're seeing is William grappling with identity, speculated a royal watcher. He's trying to project who he thinks he should be while deeply resenting who he's been forced to become. Meanwhile, others believe that the feud goes way back into the past. Royal insiders and longtime watchers have noted one crucial point that makes Prince William's silent protest, if that's what we call it, even more startling. King Charles himself, despite a famously strained marriage with Princess Diana and years of personal scandal, never once publicly disrespected the late Queen Elizabeth II. Not even during the most turbulent years of his life did Charles so much as flinch in his formal deference to her. He bowed to her, spoke with reverence about her, and even when he waited decades for his moment, he did it all while preserving the image of unity. Whether it was real or not is another thing. That's what makes William's behavior at the state banquet feel so out of place. For the future king to sit stone-faced and motionless, while the current monarch receives a standing ovation from global leaders, it's not just a missed cue. Do you think it is a moment of emotional rebellion that slipped through the cracks of royal discipline? At the same time, William isn't just the heir, he's the son of Diana. And for those who remember the way Diana's life unfolded, from her public interviews to her open heartbreak and her complicated dance with the crown, it's not hard to imagine that William still carries deep scars. He was a teenager when she died, a boy who walked behind his mother's coffin in front of the world.
Mourners have come from all over for this historic funeral. The televised broadcast reached 32.1 million people in the UK and 2.5 billion people all over the world. It remains one of the most viewed events to this day. With Prince Charles, Prince Harry, Charles Spencer, Di's brother, Prince William, and Prince Philip behind. It was Harry and William's special request to walk behind their mother's casket as it pushed on towards the Abbey. What courage.
And before that, he was the son who saw up close the cold machinery of the institution that ultimately failed his mother. The popularity of Diana and the truth about her bitter, fractured marriage might overshadow the royal family itself. In the wake of her very public and painful separation from Prince Charles, Diana leaned emotionally on William more than most people realized at the time. Despite being only a child, he was deeply perceptive and protective of her. She once told a close friend, "William gives me strength. He's my little man." There's also a well-known story where a young William, seeing his mother distressed during the height of the divorce battles, told her, "Don't worry, Mummy, I will give you back your title one day." While William has dutifully upheld his role as Prince of Wales, the trauma of watching his mother suffer at the hands of an institution his father now leads probably left many scars. What kind of father figure does he see in the man currently wearing the crown? Maybe, decades after her passing, Diana still stands between them. And maybe, for the first time in a long while, William has let the mask slip. Yet many others point to ongoing issues within the Wales household, as persistent rumors that have plagued William and Kate over the past year. There have been rumors of disagreements in the middle of the public appearances. And as if to add a strange poetic parallel, the French president himself had his own awkward moment. As he disembarked from the aircraft, reaching for his wife's hand, President Macron pulled away, refusing to take it. A a small moment of public embarrassment, but it mirrored the growing sense that these relationships are under pressure in ways no speech can mask. Apart from that, there is the absence that spoke volumes. Prince Harry was never mentioned in King Charles' speech, even once. Despite being his son, despite representing a global voice for the modern monarchy in years past, Harry's name was deliberately left out. Some believe that omission cut deep for William. After all, whatever distance exists between the brothers, the bond of blood can't be so easily erased. Perhaps William saw it as his father's way of rewriting the narrative without him and without Harry. So the king praises William for living in Windsor like William the Conqueror and leaves Harry completely out of the story. Maybe that moment where William sat silent and unmoved wasn't about protest. Maybe it was a heartbroken man caught between duty and disillusionment, the loyal heir who couldn't clap for his king, even when the whole world was watching. Whether it was defiance, grief, or something more complex, Prince William's unspoken gesture has become the state banquet's defining moment. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.